Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Kenna and I'm a Cameroonian YouTuber based in Douala Cameroon. If this is your first time here, you're so welcome. Please click on that subscribe button so that our family can grow. It is free. You don't pay anything. Also click on that bell because that bell lets you know each time I make a new video. Today I'm talking about children, as you can see from the topic, and I'm just talking about how to make your kids close, how to make your kids best friends, how to reduce sibling rivalry, because I hear a lot of parents complaining like my kids don't just love each other, they're always fighting, they're always quarreling, they don't just meet eye to eye. And I was just like, okay, this is a good and interesting topic, because a lot of us parents, we start making the mistake from the beginning. When I was pregnant for Caden, I was always scared. Like, that was one of my biggest fears. I was like, will I be able to pay attention to two children? Will I be able to manage the love for these children? Like, will I be able to, how do I want to put it? Will I be able to share my love for two kids? That was my greatest fear. I was like, one kid, we're just showering all of our love and everything on this child. But now when it becomes two, how am I going to manage it? So I sat with my husband and we discussed. My husband said he was going to concentrate on Caden when I gave birth, because normally I'll be breastfeeding and I'll be carrying the baby most of the time. So he was like, he's going to ensure that he always distracts Caden and play with him when I'm carrying the baby and doing all that, just to distract him so that he doesn't feel like, oh my god, this little person has taken my place. And then when the baby now falls asleep, I'll play with Caden, hang out with Caden and all that, so that he should not feel like, oh my god, I'm being replaced by this baby. Another thing is that I talked to him a lot. I read this from one blog, that when you're pregnant, talk to your children, like tell them you're having a brother, you're having a sister, this is how it's going to be now and all that. So I was always talking to Caden, and I was always telling him, Caden, come and greet your sister. Every morning I'll tell him, come and greet your sister, come and kiss your sister, talk to your sister, listen to your sister. So he was always, he already had the idea. I don't know whether he actually understood that there was a baby. No, I can never say that I don't know. He did not understand it. He knew that there was something like sister going on. So when I gave birth, I came back to the house and he was still pointing my stomach like, mommy, sister. So I started redirecting him like, no, sister has come out from my tummy and sister is now in the basket. This is sister on the bed. This is sister we're carrying. So after that, he started to understand, okay, it means that mommy's tummy is now empty and this is the sister. So always talk to your child when you're pregnant. Tell him you're going to have a sister, you love each other, you grow together. Just talk to him, because I think it helps. Because Caden was naughty that he had a follower just for like a week, because he didn't understand. But when we tried to talk, he talked to him and we made him feel comfortable and made him not to feel that we have replaced him. He calmed down and everything was okay. Another thing that I'll talk about is you have to teach your children to share and love each other. I tell them I love them every day. I tell them I love them each time I get the chance to. I tell them I love them. I tell Monique every day, Monique, tell Caden you love him. I tell Caden, tell Monique you love her, so that they should know that there's something like love. I'm teaching them hug each other, kiss each other, because that's something that we did not experience in my time growing up. You hardly hear African parents telling their children, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. So that's something I'm trying to teach my children, like you have to love each other. And I tell them, you love each other. When she falls, you have to tell her sorry. When this happens, you have to sympathize with her. So Caden, at this young age, he already understands. So sometimes when I make Monique to cry, Caden will come and tell me, you're making my sister cry, don't make my sister cry. He's already protective, so the love is growing, and I'm happy about that. So you just have to tell your kids you love them, teach them to love each other, tell them you have to love your sister, you don't have to fight your sister. It's okay. So when I see them fighting, I just tell them, the first thing I tell them is that you don't fight, You don't fight with your sister, you don't fight with your brother. You have to learn to love each other. I'll tell them, hug each other, say you're sorry. So it's a process. It's difficult. I'm not saying it's just ABC, it just works like that. It's not easy. But I keep teaching them, because as you teach them, as they're growing up, they start understanding what that means. The next thing I teach them is you have to share. You know, with kids it's not easy, but for Monique finds it a lot easy. She shares a lot. Like if you give her something, she just comes and gives me. She takes things and comes. When people come to the house, she carries things and comes and gives people. So she doesn't have a problem with sharing. Caden too shares on his good days, but I teach them you have to learn how to share with each other. When I buy something, I tell them you don't have to fight. Everybody will have. You have to learn how to share. So I struggle. Some days they fight, some days they want the same thing, but I try to teach them, like, okay, you have to learn how to share with each other. If there's just one toy, you guys have to learn how to play with each other. Another thing that I think causes a lot of problems these days is this Android generation. Our kids cannot spend time together. Our kids cannot spend time together because enter a house, this child has a phone, this child has a tablet, everybody has a TV in their room and all that, so they don't spend time with each other. So I try to encourage them to play with each other. So there are days that I'll put, like, okay, I'll put a cartoon that both of them love, because their tastes are completely different. Monique likes musical cartoons, but Caden is growing up, so he's not too into that. So I try to put something that has a little bit of action and music so both of them can watch. And then I also encourage them to play with each other. I leave them together, like I put them outside where their toys are, like play together, so that they should get close to each other. They should create their own games, create their own fun. I ensure that they do a lot of activities together, because that brings them closer and that makes their love for each other grow. Mama, you're dancing. Hey. How are you people? Grandma is driving you people. The last thing I'm teaching them is respect. I teach them to respect each other. I'm teaching them, like, okay, in this house, there's daddy, there's mommy, there's Caden, there's Monique. It's good to teach your children respect. Learn how to respect each other. You can only teach them how to respect by, first of all, respecting each other. You have to respect your husband. Your husband is supposed to respect you. You have to respect people living in your house, people around you. You have to respect them, so that the child should learn respect. So you have to teach your child, like, okay, I have two children. I have to teach Monique that Caden is your elder brother. Sometimes he has to lead and you follow. When you have your own follower, you can now lead and your follower follows. Okay, let me give you a beautiful scenario. I have this friend of mine and she came visiting. When she came visiting, she has 3 boys, 1 girl. The girl is the first. So they came and they sat down, but the girl did not have a seat to sit on. And she entered into the house. All of her brothers were sitting. Surprisingly, the youngest brother got up and said, "My dear, please sit down." He told the sister to sit down, and I was like, wow. I was so impressed. And then I was like, why did you do that? He's like, "Mommy taught us that gentlemen stand while ladies sit." I was so impressed, and I'm like, wow, this is you're bringing up your kid properly. Like, he knows that he's a gentleman, and gentlemen do not sit when a lady is standing. Like, that's just respect. He said, "She's my elder sister. My elder sister is supposed to sit while I stand." So I was so impressed. So you have to teach your children respect. Those are the few points I came up with on how to make your kids best friends. Did you enjoy this video? If you did, don't forget to leave me a like. Don't forget to give me suggestions of the kind of videos you want from me. What? No, you can't watch cartoons before going to school now. You wait, okay? You are still sleepy. Why did you get up?